The source of Indus River is Tibetan Plateau, fed by glaciers on the mountains of Himalaya and Hindu Kush. The river runs 3,000 kilometers through hills and gigantic gorges before it reaches the flat plains of the Indus Valley in Pakistan and flows into the Arabian Sea. For years, Pakistan has used the river as part of the biggest irrigation system in the world, turning 35.7 million acres of desert plain into cultivated farmland that accounts for two-thirds of the nation's job and 80% of its exports. Today, the Indus Basin in Pakistan and India is home to the world's largest irrigation scheme. The modern Indus irrigation scheme began in 1885, when the government of British India undertook to rebuild and extend some waterworks in western Punjab. Engineering skill and the Indus toiled turned the desert of Punjab into wheat fields, creating farm settlements based on a network of irrigation canals. By 1915, the transformed Punjab provided more tax revenue for Crown than any other district in India. By 1947, the scheme extended over an area of about 14 million acres, which equals to the size of Greece. By 1947, irrigation reached 22 million hectares of India, 32 by 1974, and 50 million by 1990s. After 1975, India started developing its hydroelectric powers. Dam building accounted for 15% of the planned state expenditure between 1947 and 1982. Dams and reservoirs displaced by 20 million people between 1947 and 1992, especially the India's tribal population, often located in hilly areas suitable for hydroelectric development. And most oftenly, they found themselves as refugees. Pakistan already suffers from water shortages from Indian dams, and now the climate change has driven the situation even worse. The Nile River in Egypt was a two-way highway because northeast winds in the mild seasons allowed upstream sailing while the river's flow wafted traffic downstream. More important still was the annual flood, prompted by the monsoon rains in the Ethiopian highlands. The annual flood immunized Egypt against desalination. The Suez Canal and the Aswan High Dams were deeply connected. The creation of the Suez Canal was built to connect the Nile to the Red Sea, which allowed people to get connected across the seas. By 1850s, the construction began, and until 1869, the Suez Canal was finally open to the world. After the economic boom, people have changed the Nile. After the population growth, people has taken more water from the Nile than ever before. Egyptian agriculture had turned heavily to chemical fertilizers. It revolutionized Egyptian agriculture but damaged the environment. Salinization emerged as a serious threat. Salt accumulation afflicts the northeastmost delta where seawater intruded as much as 50 kilometers inland. The Nile has lost its ordinary function and killed many water creatures too.